Everybody out there on this collected intertubes today, hope your pipes are clear while you sit and join me, the Fox, as your host, for part 8 of I Played a Thing, Revelations Persona Edition. For those of you who may not remember, it's been a week, so you may not. We are tearing through the hallowed halls of St. Hermalin High School. We've been assigned by one of our teachers to go and deal with the hole in the wall with Alana and TJ. First, however, what we're going to do, that's the wrong button, is go outside back to the club rooms that I showed early in the game, which had nothing in them at all at the time. There is actually some important equipment out there, some very, very useful stuff. And it's very well worth getting, since the stores won't carry any equipment of note for a long time yet. Okay, let's go outside. Go back inside, rather. Back around. The gymnasium still has absolutely nothing of note at this point, so there's really no reason to go in there. It's mostly, again, ambient conversations. The dialogue in this game is really, really stiff and poorly translated. There's nothing in that room. Alright. Pick up the headgear. Gloves. You won't be able to actually use the gloves. Those are actually weapons for Chris if he ever comes into the party. He only comes in if it's optional, or if you go through a certain sequence of completely optional events, all of which I have managed to goof up with the exception of maybe 2, so he's not going to come in. I may show a clip from another save game where I do have him. Bows are Mary's terrain. She's extremely good with multiple shots per round, the ability to hit just about any enemy on the screen, good solid damage, particularly if you buff her technique up, and her technique is already naturally high, so she does pretty well for herself. Conversation time. Tad is actually absolutely meaningless to the overall flow of the game. I mean, he's just here. Why he gets to talk to you like this, I don't particularly know. Actually, I do. Tammy is a in-joke. Very, very big in-joke that almost no American is going to get. Tammy is the female version of the protagonist from Shin Megami Tensei If for the Super Famicom, the last game released on the Super Famicom back in the 90s. Essentially, she is one of the high school students in the original High School Goes to Hell game from way back when. It's considered by many to be a pastiche of sorts of a Malcolm McDowell movie from the late 1960s called, well, If. Look it up on the IMDb or Wikipedia. It's interesting. It's not a very good movie by modern standards, but so it goes. But basically, this whole conversation is meant to highlight Tammy. I don't know if Tad is a character from that game either. There are no good fan translations of If available. It's a very complex game, lots of heady dialogue, and most people haven't really gotten too far into it. The fan group seem to be more emphasizing on the earlier Mega 10 games. SMT1, SMT2, particularly with the deluge of natural American ports. There's not a lot of interest in the older games. If you do get a chance, play Tensei. Yes, Pat, I'm listening. 1 and 2. They're excellent games, and really they kind of defined an era of horror RPGs that before survival horror came in and kind of muddled the whole crowd up. I don't know what that door is. And for the sake of you not having to watch me walk for 30 seconds, I'm going to pause the recording and walk back to the school. Okay, pause it. We're back. Alright. Talk to TJ. You're never going to see Yuki again, ever. No matter how many times TJ seems to imply that you will. You aren't. She's been written out of the story. Okay, there's nothing more to be done in the school, so you need to try to leave. They won't let you out through the front doors if you try. Alright. Sorry about that. How you were supposed to know you were going to Sabik, I don't entirely know. But that's where you're going. Probably based on the conversation with Mary's mother. And speaking of Mary, hi Mary. You're looking sprightly today. Notable confusion. As far as we know, you still are. She could be. There's not much to say about this conversation, really. Hey, it's Nate, yay! Why is Mary here? You should be picking up on a subtle plot point here. Mary doesn't seem to know what the hell's going on. Nobody seems to know why she's there. You know, we haven't seen her since the ICU, and at that point she was whisked away somehow. Interesting typo there, too. Running back here. Oh, noes. He got caught. And now you have firearms. Excuse me. Okay. First thing to do, since now everybody has a firearm available and a 9mm round, equip them. You're also going to want to go through and equip all of the stuff you just got. Guys on the front row should put on tread shoes to help them dodge better. People in the back, not so much so. That's the O button. Again, I have a tendency to hit it at the wrong times. Okay, now you only have one good sword. Give Nate the scalpel, the M16, the 9mm, headgear, uniform, gauntlet, and trench shoes. He is going to be a back row kind of guy, in this case. Back out. Now, I will admit, I'm not the best at laying out formations, but one of the things you need to do, Nate is a really excellent gunner. Mary uses ranged weaponry, and in the front row she's useless. So you kind of want to set up a column formation there, so that they get the most out of him. Nate can sword fight from the middle or the front. He can shoot from the back or the middle. That should tell you something. And the hero is not that good a gunner. Okay, now go back outside. Now we're back on the overworld map. I'm going to have a quick conversation, apparently. Forgot this was here. Wah, wah, wah. Or am I? Mary is very, very, very confused. And as we go into this fight here, we're at the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to cut the film off right where we're at, make a save point, and we'll be back with part 9. Hopefully we'll get to the police station. See you then.